Hey all, Bree from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I have got a gift for you this holiday season. If you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I mean love the No Guilt Mom podcast, then tell us about it. Leave us a review, and you can be entered to win a No Guilt Mom gift card. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and then simply go to noguiltmom.com/review to enter our giveaway for a free No Guilt Mom gift card, simply for telling us what you think about the podcast. It is amazing. But don't delay. Get right on this, as we're going to be giving away that No Guilt Mom gift card on December 21st. So get right on over and visit noguiltmom.com/review.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, JoAnn Crohn, and I am here with a No Guilt Mom win, one of my favorite things to do. And we have one of our Balance VIP members here, Anne, who I recently got to see in person. And she went to donuts with me to the donut parlor where we looked for maple bacon, but they had no maple bacon, Anne.
They didn't have bacon yet. No bacon.
They didn't have bacon. But Anne is here to talk about how she went from yelling to letting things go, which I know is a huge thing that we hear from so many moms. So I'm so excited to dig into this, Anne. So thank you for joining me here.
Yeah, thanks for letting me tell my story.
I can't wait to dig in. So tell me a little bit about what it was like in your house when you felt that you needed to control and you had those yelling reactions.
So a lot of this stems from growing up in a yelling household. So it's just what you're learned. You know, I learned how to do this. This is how you parent because this is how I was parented. So for me, yelling just became that natural reaction. Like, you don't get what you want. You yell about it because that's what gets results. I always felt bad. I always had this guilty feeling in my stomach. Like my kids would look at me and cry and I can't break down. I'm not that, I'm not a horrible person. I'm just trying to get them to realize that I want them to be a great person. And this is going to make them be that great person because they know authority and it's how it is.
Anger is a really, really hard thing to take down a notch, especially if you saw it growing up and you had this model of adults who didn't rein in their emotions.
Yeah. And I think there's a fine line between passion and just aggression. And that's where I struggled is while I felt passionately about what I was doing, I still felt aggression and it didn't feel good inside. How does this make anybody feel good? Why would people yell?
It does raise your blood pressure a little bit. I feel it too when I get really, really mad. Like that fuzzy head feeling and that stomach aches and everything like that. So when did you realize that you wanted to change this behavior?
I guess a lot of it started in COVID. When you're with everybody for that long, there was no opportunity to escape and calm down. Is this the mom who I want to be? Is this who I want my kids to remember me as? You're isolated and you're stuck in a house with all these people. And it's do they even like me? Who am I? What am I doing? I looked at different, parenting methods in general, just reading, started doing research and everything else, and kind of went down a rabbit hole of self-improvement to parent improvement.
There's a lot out there.
There is, and it's kind of taking what fits. And in all of this time too, why are my kids acting this way? How come they don't act this way with other people? And trying to dig deep into their mentality as to what they need as a child. I don't remember acting this way as a kid. I remember the yelling, but I don't remember the defiance, I guess, in my emotion with my parents. There's got to be something better. I can be better.
Yeah, it's funny because I would have never defied my parents either. And I think it's part of the generation that we were raised in. Even all of the TV shows we saw, the kids didn't defy parents. When the kids defied parents, they got grounded and 2 weeks in their rooms alone by themselves.
No outside world.
No outside world at all. I think kids, they get a different message, of course, which is good too, because it's showing them to stand up for themselves. Because I don't know about you, but I've had to work through a lot of shame myself as far as speaking my voice and speaking my mind. And I think that really goes back to how our generation was raised.
Yeah, for sure. And I think too, some of the resentment, I guess not fully resentment, but there's things, it's how I feel about my parents now as a parent. I don't want that. I still, as an adult, have that rough time. No, mom, doesn't go this way. It's okay, mom, whatever you need, It's no, I don't get that feeling of they're able to talk to me that way. even into their adulthood if I don't start it now.
And I'm with you. We want that relationship with our kids where they feel free to come to us and talk to us about things and even challenge us in some ways, because my teenager nowadays, she's calling me out when I'm wrong. And you know what? She's right a lot of the time, unfortunately for me. So how did you finally make the change that you stopped the yelling?
I started with bettering myself and just kind of discovering who I am. And in that, all these various podcasts. So I discovered you guys. I started listening more of the parenting piece that I need. And then there was the mom summit that was in February. And there was like, oh, we have all these great tools. We have all these great things. Join our cohort. I was like, okay, great. Joined you guys. So I did the Peaceful Parent Challenge in March. And then since I had signed up as a VIP, I had access to the Calm and Happy Parenting. And because the two were so intertwined, I started discovering all of these things. So literally in March, so only a couple months ago, I learned all these cool tools and I was open with my kids and I said, hey guys, look, I'm trying not to yell. You're going to be frustrating. I get that. You're my kids, but please know that I am working on myself to be a better mom for you guys. I'm asking you to do the same.
I love that introduction that you gave to them, because obviously when you change around the way you're handling situations, kids are going to call you out on it. And the fact that you went to them and you're like, here's what's going on, you really prep them for it.
Well, I don't like to be blindsided as a person when, all of a sudden somebody's changed their mind on something or, wow, they didn't act that way. What did I do? After telling them like, hey, I'm working on myself, obviously don't go and try and push my buttons. Because, I wanted to preface with like, don't mess with me. I know you're going to try and, especially my 11-year-old, he has ADHD. So he kind of makes it a game. And he thinks it's kind of fun sometimes to mess with mom.
Oh, fun. That should be delightful sometimes.
It is what it is. And my youngest, smart kid, she's super smart, doesn't want to do her homework. What used to be dragged out, beat up, and sit down, you need to do your homework. If you don't do it, I don't know, I'm going to take away your computer, I'm going to take away your tablet, whatever it is. You can't watch TV. And I just told her, I was like, I'm not going to fight with you. You don't want to do your homework. You can tell your teacher why you didn't want to do your homework. There's no sense in me getting mad. There's no sense in me getting upset. It's not my grade. I'm not going to control that anymore. She just looked at me like, really? I don't have to do my homework? I'm like, no. But you can tell your teacher why you didn't do it. I said, I'm not going to email her. I'm not going to text her if you don't turn it in. And she says, Daphne, I don't have your homework. It's on you, not on me. I've been trying really hard. And my husband, we used to be opposites because I would yell and he wouldn't. And then for some weird reason, it's now shifted. Mm-hmm. And I told him after I got home from the VIP retreat, he was like, so how was it? What did you guys talk about? What did you guys do? And we talked about everything. And I said, just strategies on how to work better as a family unit, being better parents so our kids are better kids. He's noticed that I've calmed down a little bit. He's like, you're not yelling as much. I don't want to feel like that person anymore. And I feel like I have great tools and great support with you guys. Our VIP retreat team is amazing. We just so much going on there. It's just such a good community to know that there's other moms out there who struggle with this and we're not the only ones. But we can rely on each other and, hey, how did you handle this? Or, hey, how did you approach this? And, hey, I'm having this issue. Yeah. Have you tried this? You know what? I haven't because I've been stuck in my own head.
That's true. When we get stuck in our own head, we think like we're the only ones. And sometimes all you need to do is just let it out to people who support you.
And I think that's what makes it so that the change feels right. I feel good about who I am as a mom and that I'm not alone in thinking that I want to change how I was parented. So I'm not parenting the same way for my kids so they don't end up with the same issues that I have.
Yes, definitely. And I have to know about your daughter and homework. How is she approaching homework since it's her responsibility now to talk with her teacher?
She has knocked it out of the park every week. She has a whole packet that she has to do. Well, she has a packet she has to do. She has all week to do the packet. She gets it on Monday. It's due on Friday. And she knocks out all the math pages the first day. And then between Tuesday and Wednesday, she's knocked out all the writing and spelling stuff. And then it's done.
That is amazing. So letting go of your control actually was a lot better for her. Well, Anne, thank you so much for coming and sharing this. And I know a lot of parents are going to hear this and be like, oh my gosh, I can actually let go of some control and things aren't going to go like totally haywire. So this is amazing. And if you're listening to this right now and you want the same kind of support that Anne has, I put a link to our Balance VIP program right there in the show notes. So thank you so much, Anne, for being here.
Thank you.
Are you looking for something to listen to with your whole family? Then check out 6 Minutes, produced and created by Gen Z Media. With over 200 twisty, cliffhanger-filled episodes, 6 Minutes tells the story of 11-year-old Holiday, who is pulled from the icy waters with no memory of who she is or where she came from.
3 years ago, Brinley Pasternak helped the Anders family uncover the truth about Holiday's past. Now she'll need them to help her find the truth about hers. In 6 Minutes Out of Time, the long-awaited sequel, Cyrus Anders is found unconscious near the mysterious Elixir Academy in Florida, and Brinley learns the school may have a shocking connection to her missing mother.
Dive in now and get the most downloaded family audio adventure in history. Follow 6 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free with the GZM family subscription.